Alright, so I removed the bottom off of the SK1 again. I just want to go through quick looks at the mods. Up here, we got an 18650. It's a 2000 milliamp hour one. Stole it from a DeWalt Drill battery that was bad. The cell tests perfectly fine. It lives there. Sitting under the side here with all the hot glue is a little voltage converter board. It's a little square board off Amazon. It takes 5 volts in, charges at 18650. It has 2 status lights on it, which I removed from the board and just tapped with wires to put these LEDs in the front. For charging is red, or needs charged is red, and then fully charged is green. Simple. Old school, wanted to match the aesthetic. I removed the original power port. It's got this Type C port, which currently has a magnetic, magnetic adapter. I use magnetic stuff on all my music desks. In case something happens, cable gets tripped on, it just pops away. It doesn't hurt nothing. That was the first mod. Reverse 7.5 volt DC barrel jack, kind of stupid, and 5 AA batteries, even more stupid. I hate rechargeable batteries. But in order to make this fit, there's this large capacitor, so filter cap for the main input. I just moved it down here. It's not really even necessary anymore. So I just hot glued it there. It's out of the way. Hot glue is great because it's removable, but it's a really solid, sticks well, and it doesn't harm anything. It's also electrically non-conductive. So I use it in all these solder points to insulate. Now this is where the original DC jack was. I removed it, tapped exactly where it came in from that for the power board, and I added the slider switch here as a main power off because this simulates being plugged into the wall. So when that's on, this thing will still draw power. When that's off, it's dead. No power is going into the board or into the circuitry. It's effectively removed from the wall. Batteries are disconnected. Everything's disconnected. It's safe and dead. So that's handy. One of the next mods I did involves this wire here, which is a ground tap. See it there on the audio jack. Comes over here. This 2N3904 transistor that's between the first and the third little solder pad right here. It's under the hot glue. This is a 5K4 resistor or 5K9. It's it's a resistor, a 5K to 6K resistor, going to the center like that, and the flat face is down towards the PCB. This triggers this one touch play. So when you load a sequence and you tap this, it plays one note in the sequence at a time. This is a trigger input or gate input. So I can hook this to my other sequencers and trigger this thing sequencer based from those sequencers. So if I'm using this thing as a little internal sequencer to do something funky, it will trigger along with and in the pattern of my other sequencers, or my Novation can control it even. I could use MIDI bridge. I can use anything to control that. It's just a simple gate trigger. Works fantastic. It doesn't otherwise affect the unit. Or just basically those 2 points that it's bridging there. One's ground and one's trigger for that button. It's just simulating a button press. We come over here. I removed the original adjustable capacitor, put in this wire. This is running to my DB25 port on the end. That means that I did move the trigger, or the tuning rather, into my external box. And this switch here controls it. When it's in that position, it's on original tune. That switch in that position means no tuning capacitor. And these are different capacitors that can be switched in to change the pitch, basically. This is the mod matrix box. This is just completely randomly wired matrix of switches that plugs into the side there. And that's coming off these data lines over here on the 8-bit bus from the main processor. There's 3 ROM chips here that contain all the sounds. I just did the furthest from the CPU and tapped into, basically when I shorted these together or shorted them to the ground, what made fun sounds. Not every switch is a winner. Sometimes it'll lock it up, but if it locks up hard, that reset switch over there, the slider switch, can, same as pulling the batteries, unplugging the power, it'll reset, it'll be fine. No combination of those switches can hurt these ROMs. They won't damage the data or anything. We're just confusing the bus or sending incorrect data onto the bus or something like that. It's basically just screwing with the data bus to make fun sounds. That's the circuit bend part. Like I said, that all comes out on this big connector here. Again, I want to stick with the aesthetic, the 80s, early 90s thing. Very common port, DB25. Worked great for my purposes. The original mic and aux-in jacks are still there. The output jack's still here. Pull this little magnetic dude out. You see that's just a Type C. Focus. Just stuck it up 5-volt DC. It's just big blob of glued right into the original DC jack spot. And when this is closed up, you cannot tell that it's been modified, except for maybe my sticker. But it just otherwise just plays as normal. But for example, I'm gonna put it in record mode. It's a simple sequence, right? If you hit autoplay, it just plays it back. But this key here, as long as you hold it, it plays that note in the sequence. So that little jack, which is actually on this side right here, this is the trigger input, is triggering that switch to play the sequence. That's how I can hook it to modern stuff. It's not, I'm never going to make it MIDI or anything like fancy like that. It's not going to have any kind of keyboard, external controls. I mean, I guess I could put some CV or something into it, but man, that'd be a lot of work. And honestly, it's a toy. It is a lot of fun to mess with. It's great to take places because like the mod matrix can be removed off the side of it. You use it as is, pop mod matrix back in. I've been playing with this for about 8 hours straight. The battery is still not low. I even made, there's my key step. I was using that to trigger the sequence in there. I made an extension cable for the mod matrix if I wanted to use it. But yeah, it's I'll make a little video of hooking this into the rest of the equipment later. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell.